guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to the Wandering Reader and welcome to another weekly reads video. It is Monday the 17th of December. I normally film on the weekend, but I broke up from school on Friday for the Christmas holidays and I just needed a bit of a break over the weekend. I was feeling a little bit under the weather again. So yeah, I didn't film over the weekend, but I thought I'd come to you bright and early on a Monday morning. The sun is absolutely streaming through the window to the point where I've had to pull the blinds a little bit and push my chair more forward than I normally would, just because it would be right in my eyes otherwise. But it's a gloriously bright December morning. So I thought I would catch you up on all the stuff that I have read this week. I managed to read 3 books this week, which I was really pleased with. So let's jump into the first one, and that is Sleigh Bells in the Snow by Sarah Morgan. This was another book on my holiday book bingo TBR. This is the first book in the, I said it was the O'Neill Brothers series, and I think it's called that in some places, but I've seen it also referred to as the Snow Crystal series as well. So this is the first book in that series, and it follows Jackson and Kayla. Kayla works for what is essentially a PR/marketing company in New York, and they're getting ready for the Christmas holidays, and Kayla doesn't really like Christmas that much. And then Jackson comes in, and Jackson is part owner, I suppose, of a ski resort in, I can't remember where it is, I don't know, anyway, some other state in America, and the business isn't doing very well, and he wants Kayla to help him basically market the business again so that they can recover from the brinks of despair, I suppose. And so she agrees to go out to the resort to kind of see what it's all about, meet his family and put together this kind of PR package. And she thinks it's the perfect thing because she doesn't like Christmas, so she thinks if she goes to this resort then she will be tucked away from all kind of Christmas festivities. Of course, that's not really the way it goes, and she gets the snow crystal and everybody's getting rid of Christmas as you would expect them to be, and she starts to form a relationship with Jackson. This was really cute. I really enjoyed it. I liked reading about the different things on this snow crystal resort, and it was really lovely. Jackson's family was just such a lovely family. It was really nice kind of seeing them at Christmas and things like that. This is the first book. The second and third book follow his other 2 brothers. So I'm really interested in reading those. But yeah, I read this in a couple of days, really liked it and gave it 4 stars. There's a bit of a glare on this book, so I apologise about that. It's just, yeah, the way that the sun is going at the moment. Can't really help that. The second book that I read this week was one that I got out from the library, and it is Playing by the Greeks' Rules, again by Sarah Morgan. This is a prequel novella or novel. I mean, this is large print and it's 280 odd pages, so you probably call it a novella. And this it's a prequel to the Puffin Island series, which I finished off a couple of weeks ago now, or maybe about a week ago. This follows Lily and Nick, and Lily is one of Brittany's friends, and Brittany's the one who is in Greece doing the archaeological dig, and Lily is also on this dig, but she's also kind of doing a few other jobs at the same time, and she works for Nick's company, and then she also has a cleaning job on the side. And one day she goes to clean his house and has a bit of an accident, and then he comes in, and then it goes from there. So this was a really easy read. I read it in 2 sittings, I think, and it was a nice little kind of sideline to the series. So if you like the Puffin Island series, I would recommend this definitely. And I gave this one 3 stars. I didn't enjoy it as much as the Puffin Island trilogy, just because I found some of the dialogue went round in circles a little bit. So they'd kind of make a decision not to talk about anything anymore, and then 2 sentences later they were talking about it again. And that happened a number of times, and I didn't really like that much. It's not a particularly feminist book either. I mean, a lot of these aren't, I suppose, but there's a reference at the end about looking cute when you're pregnant. I don't know, it's probably not a massively feminist thing to point out, but I don't know, I just didn't really like that comment. Yeah, so, but it was, I still enjoyed reading it and reading about their stories, so like I said, I gave it on 3 stars. And then the other book that I finished this week was my audiobook. I was listening to Life After Life by Kate Atkinson, and I finished it on Saturday, I think. Finished listening to it on Saturday. Really enjoyed it. A lot of the book, the majority of the book, I just hadn't remembered it from when I read it the first time. I really feel like I skimmed a lot of the book, or just wasn't really paying that much attention to it. I could remember the first, I'd say maybe 100 pages, and then from there it was all new to me. I thought it was really clever, the way it kept playing with time and things like that. If you're not aware, this is a story set over the course of a number of years before World War II, before World War I, after World War II. Kind of, it spans quite a large time period, and it's about this one girl called Ursula, and it's about the idea of living your life over and over again. So things happen to you and you die, but then you're reborn and you don't make those mistakes again and things like that. It was really clever, the way that she weaved all of those things together, and characters popped up from other lives that she had, and you know, different storylines popped up and stuff like that, which I thought was really clever. In the end I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought the ending was a bit too convenient for me. I kind of know that that's what the premise of the book was, but I didn't really believe it, and I know not all books are supposed to be believable, but at the same time, yeah, it just didn't really do it for me. But it has renewed my faith in Kate Atkinson, and I will definitely pick up some more of her stuff. I think my library has another one of her audiobooks, so at some point I'll probably download that and listen to it. But yeah, really enjoyed it. So onto what I'm going to be reading this week. I am currently in the middle of The Christmas Sisters by Sarah Morgan. I've read about 200 pages of this. This is about 3 sisters who live, 2 of them live in New York and 1 of them lives in the Scottish Highlands, and they're all from the Scottish Highlands, and it's about them going back home for Christmas. And it's about like different things that are going on in their lives. So one of the sisters is having a bit of a crisis because she wants to go back to work and her husband wants another baby. Another one of the sisters is having a crisis because she's pregnant, and she thinks she's pregnant and she doesn't really know what to do about it. She's kind of one of these big, she's got a hotshot kind of job in New York, and you know, she's single and, well, not single, but yeah, and so she doesn't really know what to do about that. And the other sister, the one who lives in the Scottish Highlands, is kind of stuck around with her mum and dad and helped out with the business and stuff like that, and he's kind of thinking that maybe she needs to spread her wings, but he's feeling guilty about kind of leaving the family business and stuff like that. So you've got all of these things going on in the background. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's not like a lot of Sarah Morgan books that I've read. The other ones are more focused around romance. This is more contemporary. There is a tad of romance in it, but it's very tame compared to what I normally read from her. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really quick to read. I've only been reading it for a few days. Well, I picked it up last Sunday, but yeah, so I've been reading it for about a week now. But then I read Playing by the Greek Rules in between this one, so yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing on with that one. And then I'm also listening to the audiobook for Little Deaths by Emma Flint. This is another one that I've downloaded from my library, and this was longlisted, I think, for the Women's Prize a couple of years ago now, and it is sort of like a literary thriller, so from what I can gather of the premise so far, I've listened to about 2.5 hours of it. It's about a 10-hour audiobook, it's about a quarter of the way through. It's about a woman called Ruth, and her 2 children go missing. And it's about the investigation into kind of where these kids have gone and what happened to them, and then that the accusation that she has something to do with it. And you find out very early on in the book, in fact in the first chapter, that she's in prison, so that kind of implies to me that she has been convicted of something to do with the disappearance of her children. And it's about that kind of idea of you know, what's the perfect mother, and do you have to be the society's perfect mother in order to be a good mother? And like, just because you have vices and do things that society don't expect of you, I mean, what's wrong with that? So yeah, I'm kind of at that stage where they seem to be pointing the finger at her because of her lifestyle. So she drinks and smokes, and she has a job as a cocktail waitress, I think. She's separated from her husband. Yeah, and so people are looking at her and thinking that she's not exactly the perfect mother, so therefore she must have had something to do with it. So I'm finding it quite interesting so far. So I suppose what they're playing on is that idea of, well, do you trust her? Or do you, like, did she have something to do with it? Or, you know, is she innocent? Like, that kind of thing. I don't really know, but it's quite enjoyable. It's narrated by 2 different people, so you get her perspective, Ruth's perspective, and you also get this journalist's perspective. I think his name's Pete, and he's kind of obviously investigating the case for his newspaper. I think he's a young, naive, kind of wants to get his first big shot sort of thing. Yeah, it's really good so far. I don't think it will take me that long to get through. I'm going out later on today, so I'm gonna listen to it as I'm walking around the shops. Yeah, so looking forward to continuing on with that. There are a few other books in the background, but I haven't really picked those up since I spoke to you last, so I won't mention them here. But that's about it. So I apologise for the crappy lighting, because obviously I've got this weird line running down my face, but if I closed the blinds any more it would have been dark in here, and I kind of wanted to use the sunlight. So anyway, there's that. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. What are you reading at the moment? What are you enjoying? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.